talked to Jennifer, and I have a very strong opinion about this. When you get up on the stage for the evaluation contest, don't use a paper. Don't use a paper. The rule book says you can use a paper.
We don't use paper. Can we use iPad?
S for you. You failed the test. Okay? Right here in the contest book, it says after the 5 minutes, you have to give them the paper. Then, when it's time for you to give your presentation, they can give you back the paper. My opinion as a judge, and you can do what you want, but my opinion as a judge, if someone stands up here with a paper and they give a grade evaluation, yeah, it's a lot easier with a paper. But if someone stands up here without a paper and it's not as good, but they give the best evaluation they can based on what they found without a paper, because this is a contest, it's not a club meeting, I would give the person with the okay evaluation the highest score. Now, I can't speak for other judges. This is what I would do. Because if this was Oscar for the humorous speech contest and he was super funny, but he used the paper, how is that a contest? Okay?
Yeah.
So I want you to just kind of remember these for people who are going to be participating, you know, analytical quality. You'll say, okay, what's that? What does that mean, Diana? Was it clear or confusing? Okay. Recommendations. Was it helpful or was it obvious stuff, the same thing everybody said? The technique. Were you nice or were you rude? Did you thank the test speaker for having the courage to get on the stage and give you a speech that you can evaluate? You would be surprised how many people don't even thank the test speaker. Make sure you do that. Take the 2 or 3 seconds to thank them for giving the speech. Okay? And don't, Marion Shaw, I remember her saying this. Conclusion, conclusion, conclusion. That's the only reason why I won. I had a conclusion. The other one didn't. Really? It was the only reason why I won. You don't have a conclusion, you will lose. 15% is a lot. And if you're the chief judge is supposed to say, if there's no conclusion, it's a 0. A 0. And many times I have found, or at least people have come to me recently and said, with judging, they find that the person with the best English wins. That's not always the case, but a lot of times it's the case. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the person with the best English. It should be the person with the best speech, the best evaluation, the best answer. Okay? All right. So, you know, I think that these are just some final points. It's really great to give evaluations, so you can just like get used to people kind of giving you suggestions for things. And then, you know, it teaches us how to say things to other people and not feeling, you know, like, oh my goodness, I'm attacking them. You need to get comfortable saying some things to some people that may be a little uncomfortable, but learning to say it in a nice way. Okay? And it can help us build more confidence in our opinions. It's okay to have an opinion. And having opinions, you know, and expressing them in English. And my last thing is, you know, giving honest evaluations makes us a more real, honest, and closer club. If you can still love each other at the end of the day, after someone gives you 3 needs for improvement, you're closer. You're really a true family. Okay? So right now, we're going to get an example of a humorous speech, which is going to be from Gary Zhang in the Dali Club. Now, what I want all of you to do, you have your papers. You have your papers. Okay, get your papers out. You have all your little boxes. Write down all the things that you want to look for. Do you need a piece of paper, Kathy? Do you need one? Okay. Okay? Now, we're not going to attack you, Gary. It's all about giving nice evaluations today. Okay? And I want you to really think about his speech, and we're going to have like a Q&A and discussion about his speech afterwards. And you can leave if you want to, Gary, if you don't want to hear it. It's up to you. Okay? So, our wonderful test speaker today a gentleman who is always super funny. When I called him and asked him to be a speaker here today, he said, "Oh, Diana, I don't know if I have any humorous speeches prepared." And I said, "Gary, you're not even in my club, and I've heard you give speeches, funny speeches, many times. Just use something you already did." And he's just like, "Oh, I'll come up with something. Maybe I'll do it like the day before or something." I guess maybe he did it just before the meeting started, but I'm sure it will be funny. So let us all welcome the EVP from Darling Club, Gary John.
Did everybody get this?
Yeah.
Can I hear it?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go for it.
Thank you.
I believe everybody agreed that the pen just fell down. I believe everybody agreed that human nature and human civilization have come to a new era, right? With so many changes in the past 10 years, with so many technical developments. Now, the world is so different from the old world that we know before, right? And of course, new changes bring up new crises. For example, global warming, right? The financial crisis that we are experiencing right now, currently. And this year, we even have the crisis of food supply because of droughts in North America. But I'm not going to talk about all that today. Today, I identified an urgent crisis in our civilization. It is here very clearly that no one likes anyone. You don't agree? You are laughing, you don't agree? Now, turn on your TV. Watch on the internet and on the Facebook. You see, there are so many people criticizing other people. You can just make one tiny mistake, and suddenly you become somebody, the evil person on the whole world that everybody knows. Don't you miss the old time that we can make tiny mistakes and nobody cares? For example, you can beat up your girlfriend at home and nobody knows. But right now, if you beat up your girlfriend, he will just use a smartphone and take a picture of her bruises on her face and then show it to the YouTube. Everybody would know right away. So that's the crisis that we are facing, is because there are so many people, boring people, sitting in front of their camera and in front of their computer and trying to find mistakes of other people. So more than ever, it is very important right now that we should watch our personal behavior and make yourself like anyone. So, do you know what I do? I went through all the bookstore and finally I got this book. This book just says how to make anyone like you. And before I can truly recommend this book to you, I of course have to do some personal experiment on the small techniques that tell in the book. For example, a good way to be anyone's best, to make anyone like you is try to be the best friend, right? To be the best friend of the people surrounding you. And what's the criteria of